something always goes down in episode 5, and we knew it was going to be big. But the way it went down, sorry, I wasn't feeling it. Hey, what's up and hello? This is D. Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 5, Brothers and Keepers. So we start off with Ronnie, the South Jamaica boogeyman, and he is stealing someone's car. And look, my whole thing is at this point, I'm just glad he didn't unalive the guy. He just took the car. And so he ends up taking the car. And at this point, we see that Ronnie truly is the bully. Like, he feels like he has to take everything. He's not necessarily really trying to work with people. It may start off that way with Kanan. They're eventually going to come together, but he's all about being a bully and with force taking everything that he wants. So eventually, in my opinion, we're going to see that Ronnie's going to get put down eventually. By who? I don't know, but definitely he's eventually going to have to be taken down. So Kanan is talking business with Famous on the phone while he's in Rock's house, and he's telling Famous, don't F it up. But we all know Famous is gonna F it up. So Rock comes in and she's like, what are you talking about with Famous? What's going on? And of course, Kanan refuses to answer any of her questions. He doesn't care. He doesn't give her any respect. And she doesn't sit up there and put her foot down. She just tells him what she plans to do or what he needs to do and walks away. So Ronnie, crazy, psychotic ass, keeps ringing Neek's doorbell in the middle of the night. Like, ring, ring. Like, he's not stopping. He's not even waiting to see if someone comes to the door. He just keeps ringing the doorbell. And Neek comes to the front door. He's like, it's in the middle of the night. What the hell are you doing? And so Ronnie shows Neek the car that he stole. And Neek is like, you got out on a miracle and you up here stealing people's cars. Look, Ronnie, when I said I got you, I said I got you. And Ronnie's like, I don't believe you. F you. I'm about to flip this car. And he was like, I'm tired of staying with you and your baby mama. As if they even invited him to stay there in the first place. They didn't. But at the same time, I guess what he's trying to say is, I'm about to make my own moves and I'm starting off with this car and I'm about to pretty much get my own product. F you. So Marvin and his friend Gerald, whatever the hell his name is, they go out to eat and they start sharing stories about their daughters. And Marvin even talks about how Jukebox may be someone that, Gerald would like to actually write about. And so in the process, Gerald kind of offends Marvin because he says, hey, Jukebox may be a great story. Like, she's from the other side of the tracks and she makes it big. And Marvin's like, I don't live by no tracks. And we fine in Queens. And, Harold's like, look, I don't know what his name is, Harold. He's like, look, I'm just saying sometimes South Jamaica can be, a dangerous place. And he said, because literally there was just this guy who got unalived and they think that, it was drug related. And so that's when Marvin finds out that Dean has been unalived. And I don't know. It just seems unrealistic in my opinion, because typically the first people who know when someone, especially that big, has been unalived, the streets are talking before reporters know about it. I mean, the hood would know about it more than anything. So the fact that he had to find out from a reporter, I don't know. It just didn't seem realistic to me. But that's the way they want to write it, fine. So Rock goes to her store and the store is vandalized, of course. And of course, when she sees this, the police, the two crooked pigs, pop up and they're like, oh no, I guess someone vandalized your building. Oh, and guess what? You have major building violations as well. And so, definitely, you may need some help. And Rock is like, nah, I'm fine. That's all right. I'll continue to clean up. Don't need your help. Thank you, officers. Have a great day. So, of course, they're disappointed, and they're just going to pretty much keep attacking and attacking until they eventually get what they want. That's pretty much what they're saying. So, while she's cleaning up, Marvin pulls up and tells her that Dean was put down. And she didn't even know about it. And again, weird as hell that neither one of them knew about it. I understand that Rock right now, I guess technically isn't in the game, but she still is the streets. So he tells Rock that he found out about it from his friend that works at the papers. And Rock is like, you got friends now that work at the newspaper? And I'm like, yeah, he think that's his friend. I don't trust the guy. I don't trust the guy. I still don't understand the connection that they're so tight that Marvin was willing to give up that type of money. I do not trust him. But the fact that they gave Rock that line, oh, you got friends at the newspapers now, is definitely going to be something that's going to hinder Marvin or help him, or maybe do both. So Marvin mentions that Dean was his connect. And Rock is like, look, I can't help you. I'm out the game. But then he talks about how he fronted Lou some money, for this club. And Rock is like, F Lou. Just like Lou is saying F Rock. So Marvin is in the middle of this, and you know how big he is when it comes to family. And he's in the middle between his sister and his little brother. And usually the middleman is the one who gets burned. So I have a feeling we're going to see some type of downward spiral. Something's going to happen with Marvin this season. Something is going to happen with him. So next we see Famous effing up. Famous gets arrested, okay? And so and with the money. With the money. Just typical Famous. So when Kanan comes by to talk to his, delivery guys, they tell him, Famous got locked up and they got the money. So of course he's like, here we go with Famous. He's always effing up. So next we have Neek showing Ronnie the takeout spot and how the operation works. And, saying that, look, it's just something that I just started up, but it could be yours. We just got to get the word out. And Ronnie's like, F you. And I'm thinking, like, why is he just never satisfied? And so at that point, they go outside, and Ronnie, of course, being totally obsessed again with Rock. He's like, Rock, Rock, Rock. She took everything you had, what I left for you, and you whipped. And Nick is like, look, because I have love for you, like normally I would handle someone who would talk to me like that. But he's like, this is what we have. And Nick is actually not lying to him. This is what they have. But Ronnie truly thinks that Neek is hiding money from him. He's hiding another angle of how he's making money. And from what we see, that is not the case. Neek just clearly saved up his money because he probably understood, like Ronnie doesn't understand. He understood that the game was changing, so he needed to save up his money. So at the end of the day, he's not satisfied, but I think as we see, his main thing is he really wanted to come back and just take back over again. He wanted to push Neek back down. In my opinion, that's what he wanted. So Juke is at rehearsal and with the girls, and it's clear that Aisha is a little behind, and they are riding her for not being able to keep up with the steps, the choreography. And so, Aisha is getting frustrated, but Juke is there to, pretty much be her support system. And so next we have Famous, and he's getting questioned about Freddie being offed by that detective. And so at that point, we see that Famous is getting questioned, but Famous is not giving them anything. But we really don't know how that whole conversation ended. We don't know if he snitched or if he was just let go because they just took his money and felt like, well, if we take your money, you're going to have to answer to someone. But we don't know how it ended, which is interesting that they kind of cut it off in the middle of that interview. So Kanan, pretty much when he's talking to his delivery guys, Ronnie creeps up on him and he's thinking, for whatever reason again, that Neek is supplying Kanan. And he's like, you too young to be moving that H on your own. And Kanan is like, who the hell said anything about H? Like, who the hell said anything about me moving H? So at that point, Ronnie just really showing how behind he is. He doesn't even understand that what Neek was telling him is true. The game has changed. Like, just you're assuming that it's H, but you don't even really know what's going on. But this is their first interaction talking with each other. We clearly see eventually that they end up teaming up. Now, whether it's for legitimate reasons or the fact that Ronnie is trying to get to Rock, I would say it's Ronnie trying to get to Rock. But moving on. So Lou goes to his mother's house, and of course, because, of the father and the father being a musician, she is shooting down Lou's dreams and saying, who's going to take care of your mother? And I'm sorry, but that's one of kind of like my pet peeves. I hear this all the time with people I know and their parents. Parents are supposed to take care of the children. Okay. Now, I understand when parents get older and they become elders and they can't physically take care of themselves anymore like they used to. That's when good children step in to assist their parents. But I'm sorry, you are supposed to financially provide for yourself and your kids. And when your kids get older, you should still be able to have a way to take care of yourself financially. They are not responsible to take care of you in that way, especially when they have their own family. So the fact that this mother has her hands out, but at the same time criticizes her kids for how they get their money, because I think that's what she did with Rock the first season, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, you can't have it both ways. You want them to take care of you, but you upset about how they take care of you. Like, shut the hell up. So at that point, she's like, you're going to be a failure just like your father. This music stuff ain't going to do nothing. And so Lou was like, look, the music didn't off my father. That's not what unalived him. And so at that point, he leaves her some money, a nice amount of money, and he leaves. And at that point, to me, while she was looking at him, to me, she really didn't care at that point. She had her money, so she didn't give a damn, because she was saying, you better leave that stuff there. You better put it back where it was. Once she got that money, she did not care what was going on with Lou as long as she was taken care of. So next we have the social worker showing up to Rock's house, and Kanan isn't there. And they can do surprise visits, and she's like, Rock is like, I'm sorry, he's not here. He's probably still at school or whatever. And the social worker's like, okay, I'll just wait for him. Well, while she waits, Kanan still isn't there. And so she says she'll give this one-time pass, but she said, if I show up again and Kanan is not there, he's going to be removed from your care and family court will get involved, and it's not pretty. So Rock pretty much shot her own self in the foot with that stupid hammer steel move that she did with Kanan, and good, because you are the mother of the year. You are the trifling mother of the year doing that stuff to your son. So now everything is on you at this point. And Kanan don't respect you, so he's not listening to you. Now, Howard finds out that the feds ain't pretty much going anywhere until they get something that sticks when it comes to this Camacho story. So Howard is plotting and scheming, trying to find a way for something to stick so the feds can get the hell on. Juliana gets a visit from Ronnie, and I'm just like, how does this guy know where everyone lives? Like, how? Like, how is that even possible? But okay. So Ronnie's like, it looks like you had something to say to me that night. And Juliana was like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with you or your brother. And Ronnie is like, Unique ain't going nowhere. He will always be my brother. I had to try to do it, y'all. I had to try to do it because he sound like he possessed when he talk. So, which is weird because in that moment you really think he's serious about my brother ain't going nowhere. Like that's my brother. So one minute he's saying he's not going nowhere, but then the next minute he's saying that things can get handled. So that's why I was like, make up your mind. Like, is it the different demons in you? One minute you saying your brother ain't going nowhere. The next minute you like, I can take care of him. Like, which one is it? So next we have Famous, and he gets out, and Kanan is like, they let you out like that? And I was like, oh boy. Oh boy, because we didn't see that whole interrogation. We didn't see that whole interview. So Famous is like, man, they was just, messing with me or whatever the case may be. But they kept the money. And so Kanan is like, you freaking liability, you stupid fool. And Famous is like, excuse me. So finally, Famous tells Kanan that he's the one who offed Freddie. And so at that point, Kanan kind of looks at him not in a way of like, dang, like you actually like off someone, but he almost kind of looked at him like that's leverage. And what I mean by that, it almost felt like he was thinking, this can be leverage for Famous to snitch. That's my opinion on the way that he came at him. And even Famous is like, man, I did that to someone. I can't believe it. And he was like, and you, the delivery guy, when he was in, you know what I'm saying, in jail, you got him and you didn't even worry about me. Kanan does not care. He's like, look, you good. You better bury what you just told me about Freddie. You better bury it. You better not say nothing to nobody, and you better not be effing up my business. So at this point, it's just like, it's only a matter of time, y'all. It's only a matter of time. Like, we need to just say goodbye to Famous, because I'm sure we're only gonna see probably a couple more scenes when it comes to Famous. It's over at this point. Like, there's no love there at all. So at Dean's funeral, Neek and Rock talk, and Neek tells Neek tells Rock that Ronnie offed Dean. And so Rock is like, you got to do something about him. Like, something has to happen when it comes to Ronnie, because he is just out here going crazy. And that's what Neek even says. Like, he is wilding. He's like a bull in a china shop. So at that point, he even knows that his brother cannot be controlled and his brother is crazy. All right. So Ronnie is in the baby mama house, and like a crazy bitch, because that's the way he's acting, like a crazy bitch, he ends up telling the baby mama, being a chatty patty, that Neek is probably out effing Rock. So one by one, it's the art of war. He is tearing Neek down bit by bit. But was it still a bitch move? Yes. Yeah, like, no man does that. Like, you keep on trying to do that because you're trying to tear your brother down, but there's other ways, if you really know what you're doing, to tear your brother down versus telling his baby mama who he's sleeping with and trying to stir up that type of drama. And that's another thing too. We haven't even seen Neek's son interact with Ronnie. I would have loved to see a scene like that where we saw him interacting with the son. We haven't even seen the son. That's the crazy part. But moving on. So Juke and Aisha are, rehearsing. Juke is trying to help Aisha get the choreography together. And at first I thought it was going to be a lover situation, but it seems like it's going to be more of a sisterhood. I feel like, though, something's going to happen to Aisha, and I think that may cause even more of a division between her and Kanan, because we see later on that Kanan is trying to holler at Aisha, and Juke tells him, like, she's good people. We're in the group together. Like, don't dirty her up. So, of course, the baby mama, and I don't even know how to pronounce her name, so I'm not going to even try. She confronts Unique about effing Rock, having freaky tales with Rock. And of course, like a trifling dude, he's like, you got what you want. You got what you want. You got everything you want and more. So in other words, since I take care of you, I can pretty much throw my peen anywhere I want to. That's pretty much it. So at that point, he realizes that, I guess finally, that Ronnie is a big issue, and he leaves out looking for Ronnie. So the feds speak to Howard's plant, the guy in the wheelchair from the projects that helps out Marvin sometimes. The Fed guy asks about Raquel Thomas, and the guy says, what does Rock have to do with the Baisley projects? And then randomly, all of a sudden, the Fed is like, Rock? Is that what they call her? And then he leaves out and he goes to the other guy who's feds and he's like, they need to re-explore her again. And I don't know about y'all, but I got confused with this scene because I was like, why calling her Rock makes a difference? You're the feds. If you're involved, you typically know every nickname out there, who they're affiliated with. Why all of a sudden are you shocked that she goes by Rock and her name is Raquel? Was it just me? I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. So at that point, I didn't understand how that was the big aha moment. But with that, he ends up going to Rock's house immediately, saying that he needs to question her and it would be best that she comes down to the station ASAP. So she's like, okay, fine. I have to call my lawyer. So I think what they're trying to do is make it seem like she is the one who offed Camacho because then she would have full stakes over the record label business. And the lawyer is like, look, you don't have nothing. And he even tells Rock they're trying to find something, but it ain't working. And at this point, they're fishing. They can't find anything. It's over. He thinks it's over. Maybe even Rock thinks it's over. But we know as the audience, damn it, it ain't over. So Lou event goes down and it's a success, and it honestly brings back for me the good times of hip hop and R&B. You know, the shit is gone now. Like hip hop and R&B, like it will never be able to match what it did in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. It's over. But it did bring back good times and like the open mics and different things like that. And Famous actually gets up and raps on the open mic session, and it was actually good, and the audience was feeling it. And he had the confidence in everything, and everybody was clapping for him. And I was like, I think this is the last time we're gonna see Famous rap. This is the last time we're gonna see him rap, or the last time we're gonna see him rap in his pure form where he actually loved the craft of rapping. I don't know, but I just felt like that was damn near his eulogy was that rap. Like that's the feeling that I'm getting. So with that, we have the most annoying scene, in my opinion. Neek goes to find Ronnie, and he finds him, of course, at his tailor shop, and Neek is like, you are effing up my life. And he was like, I'm sick of you. And Ronnie is like, no, you're weak and I'm the big dog. And Neek is like, you offing Dean and you running your mouth to my baby mama is bitch shit. And honestly, like I said, I have to agree. And when you really think about it, most of Ronnie's attacks have been sneaking up on people from behind. Dean, and now his brother. You see, it's never really like people are expecting it. It's always a sneak attack. And honestly, when him and Neek actually go pound for pound and they square up, Ronnie wasn't really about that life. I mean, he got some hits in, but Neek, for the most part, took advantage and whooped that ass. All right. So, but here's my issue with this whole entire scene. And it's not because I will not see Neek, Joey, badass, fine ass, chocolatey, sexy ass no more. That's not it. Even though, oh my gosh, he's so fine. That's not my problem. My problem is for Neek to be the crafty street dude that we have known him to be. At this point, you know your brother is public enemy number one. And you decide to turn your back on your brother and walk out. You knew he was still alive because he was moving when you was talking mess to him. It just doesn't add up because he knew his brother was unpredictable. He knew how his brother was, and he knew his brother was trying to destroy his life. So if you know your brother's trying to destroy your life, what makes you think he wouldn't take your life? I just didn't see Neek's character going out like that, where the way that he goes out is that his back is turned and all of a sudden he gets hit on the head multiple times. To me, that was the weakest way to take out Neek, in my opinion, who was a very loved character on this show. I felt like more so it would be like a gladiator type of scene, or hell, even a Scarface type of scene. But for him to go out slipping, and in my opinion, that was him slipping. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. You know what I mean? I just didn't like it. Like, I felt like his character was way better than that. And I don't know. I don't know. You guys got to let me know what you feel about it. I just kind of looked at it like, are y'all serious? Like, this is how Neek goes out. And then Ronnie tosses him literally like trash. Like trash. Just like rolled him down a hill like he was trash. You know what I mean? So Ronnie, at this point, we know that his days are numbered. I think that Kanan is going to learn a lot from Ronnie, because we clearly see some of the similarities of what Ronnie is doing versus what Kanan did when it came to Tariq and Ghost. So I think he's going to learn a lot from Ronnie, but then he's probably going to be the one eventually to take out Ronnie. Maybe that's going to be the case. But look, people were thinking that Neek was still alive. Now that would be crazy if somehow he ended up surviving that, and then he's the one who comes back and he offs Ronnie. Then that would be a great moment, because that would truly show that he is the big dog and the true boogeyman of South Jamaica. But honestly, it looks like he's gone. Like, even in the next episode, the next trailer, even Howard says Neek is gone for good. Damn. That fine brother is gone. Like, now I don't have any eye candy to look at on this show. It is what it is. But you guys, let me know what you think about this episode. I don't know. Like, it didn't get me hyped to see the other episodes. Now, of course, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know. I don't like the way that they took out Neek. I don't like it. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.